Violator. The Violator is one of the most terrifying demons in Spawn's world. Thriving on chaos and destruction, he is the eldest of 5 demonic brothers called the Fleabiac brothers. Born from a demon father and a human mother, whose death at childbirth marked his monstrous origins. Over centuries, Violator grew more ruthless, eventually killing his father and ruling over his brothers. Unlike other demons, Violator roams Earth disguised as a grotesque overweight clown with a blue M on his face. Though capable of shapeshifting, he chooses this hideous form out of contempt for humans. Beneath the clown disguise is a vicious beast with immense strength, shapeshifting powers, and fire-breathing abilities. While tasked with training Hellspawn warriors, he instead sows chaos. His recklessness even forced his master Malebolgia to punish him by locking him permanently in his clown form. Violator's thirst for violence is insatiable. He manipulates the Mafia, battles superheroes like Badrock, and tricks Spawn into empowering him. He's a villain who thrives on deception and brutality, always hunting for the next opportunity to unleash terror. Malebolgia. Malebolgia is the ruler of the 8th sphere of Hell, commanding legions of demons and creating the Hellspawn army to destroy heaven. He wasn't always the ruler. Formed from rivers of necroplasm by an ancient demon, Malebolgia betrayed his creator, seized power, and set his sights on conquering heaven. He needed a general for his army, and he found one in Al Simmons. Making a deal with Jason Wynn, he had Simmons assassinated and tricked him into servitude as Spawn, falsely promising he'd see his wife again. Worse, Malebolgia sent Simmons back to Earth 5 years later, causing unbearable suffering. Eventually, Spawn, alongside Angela, stormed Hell and killed Malebolgia, who, in a final act of cruelty, killed Angela before Spawn decapitated him, unwittingly claiming the throne of Hell for himself. Yet Malebolgia returned, possessing the villain Freak and regaining control. Though weaker due to betrayal from Hell's lords, he continued tormenting Spawn, fusing Billy Kincaid with a demon and devouring his own brothers to absorb their powers. A master of magic, mind control, necroplasm, and shapeshifting, Malebolgia is pure evil and a threat that never truly dies. Jason Wynn. Jason Wynn, the head of the CIA, was a master manipulator who sent Al Simmons on deadly missions, later betraying him for personal gain. His greed led him to a deal with Malebolgia, trading Simmons' life for the mysterious psychoplasm. Deceiving Chapel into murdering Simmons, Wynn unknowingly set the events in motion that would create Spawn. The psychoplasm, reacting to Simmons' memories, formed the nightmarish Simmonsville, later destroyed by Spawn. Wynn's corruption knew no bounds. He even employed Billy Kincaid for political favors, hiding the killer's crimes. Heaven later chose Wynn to become the first Redeemer, anti-Spawn, fueling him with the heavenly fire to hunt Spawn. Though powerful, Wynn failed, and his memory was wiped. His path darkened further when he allied with Violator, who manipulated him. Eventually, Kincaid's ghost possessed Wynn, leading him into a string of gruesome murders. Spawn ultimately shattered Wynn's mind, and the Violator stole his body, leaving Wynn's fate uncertain. A political genius turned pawn, Jason Wynn's ambition led him into the depths of madness. Redeemer. Redeemers are Heaven's champions against Hellspawn, infused with elemental fire but stripped of their memories, making them both powerful and unstable. 3 men have worn the title: Jason Wynn, Phil Timper, and Eddie Frank. Wynn was the first, transformed into anti-Spawn and fueled by rage. Despite his newfound power, he failed to destroy Spawn and was returned to Heaven memory wiped. Phil Timper, once a criminal who reformed, became the second Redeemer. More powerful than Wynn, he nearly defeated Spawn, but exploded from his unstable elemental fire. Eddie Frank, a young boy who once despised Spawn, was reborn as the third Redeemer. His anger drove his battles until he learned Spawn had saved him in life. Frank later aided Spawn in retrieving the Box of Eden. Though Heaven continued using him, Eddie's story ends ambiguously after another transformation. While strong, the Redeemer's greatest flaw is their lingering humanity, making them as tragic as they are powerful. Saigore. Michael Konietzki was Al Simmons' loyal friend, but after uncovering the truth about Simmons' murder, he was captured and turned into the monstrous Cy-Gor, a cybernetic gorilla driven by rage and confusion. The transformation was a failed experiment. Obsessive scientist Dr. Frederick Wilhelm accidentally gave Cy-Gor a mind that was 80% gorilla, leaving Konietzki lost between human thought and animal instinct. Believing Spawn to be his tormentor, Saigore tracked him to New York but was defeated and captured by the military. Escaping confinement, Saigore left a trail of destruction, enhancing his cybernetic body, hacking military systems, and even creating other cyber creatures. His intelligence, combined with unmatched strength, made him a nearly unstoppable force. No longer a man or a soldier, Saigore became a beast of pure destruction. The Curse. Philip Crane believed he was chosen by God, going to horrific lengths to prove his devotion. He scarred his face, removed his eye, and amputated his arm, all in vain. Instead of sainthood, he became the Curse, a wealthy fanatic who fused his cybernetics and occult knowledge to hunt Spawn. The Curse saw Spawn as Heaven's soldier, hoping to steal his power. His first attempt ended with him crucified and maimed by Spawn. This humiliation fueled his obsession. He rebuilt himself stronger, combining cybernetics with demon flesh and creating monstrous servants. He even managed to capture and dissect Spawn, until Spawn's living suit tore him apart. Even after his apparent death in a self-detonated explosion, the Curse's fate remains uncertain. His brilliance and madness make him one of Spawn's most unpredictable foes. The Freak. Brian Kulbici became the Freak after his wife's rejection drove him insane. Locked away in an asylum, he escaped to the sewers, descending into madness. He manipulated Spawn by fabricating a story about his family's murder by a Dr. Delirium. Spawn, sympathetic, helped the Freak hunt this imaginary villain, only for the truth to emerge. The killer was a figment of the Freak's fractured mind. His madness continued to cause chaos, even leading to Spawn's temporary death. Eventually, Spawn cursed him, and the Freak was consumed by darkness. A tragic figure, the Freak is a reminder of how madness can turn a victim into a monster. Gabrielle. Gabrielle was an ambitious angel who took over as Heaven's director of Terran affairs after Rafaela. Distrusting Angela, she sought to replace her by creating the anti-Spawn, turning Jason Wynn into a weapon using elemental fire. Her hunger for control grew as she interrogated Spawn about his interactions with the Dimensional Lance, seeking more power. However, when she tried to frame Angela for treason, the plot failed. Gabrielle was stripped of her title, proving that even angels can fall to ambition and deceit. Billy Kincaid. Billy Kincaid was a child killer who posed as an ice cream man to lure his victims. Though institutionalized, corruption freed him, allowing him to kill again, until Spawn intervened, brutally ending him. Yet death was not the end. In Hell, Malebolgia transformed Kincaid into a Hellspawn. Spawn quickly dispatched him again, but Kincaid returned as a ghost, manipulating others into murder to feed on souls. Spawn finally ended his terror by luring him into a powerless realm, cutting off his evil once and for all. Overtkill. Nicholas Roca rose through the Mafia ranks thanks to his ruthless violence. After killing a rival boss's son, he was nearly killed himself, but was instead rebuilt into Overtkill, a cybernetic enforcer. Sent to America, he fought Spawn, initially overpowering him, but Spawn eventually bested Overtkill, who returned multiple times, each rebuild making him deadlier. Despite his upgrades, though, Overtkill could not escape defeat, proving that machines have limits. Urizen. Urizen is an ancient being, so destructive that both heaven and hell sealed him away. His existence was first documented by William Blake, who warned that Urizen could never be destroyed, only contained. Centuries later, the fanatical group attempted to free him, but Spawn stopped them. Unfortunately, Ab and Zab completed the ritual, unleashing Urizen, who poisoned the earth and crushed Spawn with ease. Eventually, Spawn, using newfound powers, trapped Urizen beneath the earth again. His power, however, continues to infect the world. Mammon. Mammon is not a brute, but a master manipulator, orchestrating chaos from the shadows. Once an angel who refused to fight in Heaven's war, he became one of Hell's most cunning demons, rising just beneath Satan himself. Mammon haunted Spawn's life, orchestrating Malebolgia's downfall and manipulating events to steal Spawn's throne using the Box of Eden. His mastery of magic, mind control, and shapeshifting made him a terrifying foe, but his arrogance ultimately led to his downfall. Ab and Zab. Ab and Zab are tricksters who open portals and sow chaos for the highest bidder. Hired by Malebolgia to release Urizen, they murdered 13 people in a diner in order to open the portal. After Urizen's release, they fled to New York, only to be captured by Angela, who forced them to help Spawn. Later, they aided Spawn against the Kingdom, an extremist faction. Though selfish and cowardly, Ab and Zab always find a way to slip through the cracks, surviving in the shadows. And those are all the major Spawn villains. Which one's your favorite? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss these deep dives and strange lore. See you in the next video.